Welcome back to State of Decay 2 and the Lion's Share. I've got a little bit of time today to stream State of Decay 2, and so I figured I'd just get some work done. So let's head down to Marshall to pick up some Plague Husks, and we'll do it in my fancy new van that spawned near my base for no apparent reason at one point. It's not the most impressive vehicle in the world as far as, like, you know, speed and torque. And I can't even drive down a hill in it, but it's got a lot of cargo capacity. And what I want to be able to do is collect as much stuff from these Plague Hearts as I can without having to go back home. Oh, hello, bloaters. I'm just going to dodge you and go over here. I've got my phone unmuted next to me, so you might hear little noises now and then, because my right now I'm soloing the kids. Or at least the younger kids. My wife is out running Christmas errands with the older girls. And I need to pay attention in case somebody needs me for something. Okay, so Tressie. You know what? I've never played Tressie's quest in Nightmare before. I'm not sure if I can do it. I was here just to get Plague Husks, but maybe it'll be more interesting if I help Tressie in Nightmare. So why don't we try that? We'll try helping Tressie. I've got a Red Talon character here, so hopefully Tressie's first mission is going to be manageable with this character's skills. I can't promise it will, because unfortunately it also depends on my skills. But let's see what we can do. We sure did wreck a bunch of cars on this road, didn't we? Hello, zombie friends. And I'm already getting sick. Okay, what? There. Sometimes if a zombie is just slightly at the wrong elevation, it's really, really hard to line up for that killing blow.
Hey there, I'm Tressie.
Hey, Tressie.
Thanks for coming. I got chased under by some and I feel safe on my own.
Unfortunately, we have no way in our mission scripting tool to unlock doors. Doors are just locked or unlocked completely at random. Huh? Oh, hi. Thought I heard a window break. Hello, Tressie.
I need help clearing out some Zeds before I can scavenge. You up for it? Good. That's good.
I guess I'll search while I'm here. Oh, some kind of thing. Cool. Let's go. My prowess is at max level. So when I used to work on this mission, I didn't design it originally, but I sort of was fixing bugs on it. Actually, originally the first group of zombies was right here, but unfortunately, because this is wide in the out in the open, we couldn't get the zombies to spawn properly. Like, there would be no zombies here, and you would walk around it, and then as soon as you walked around it or turned your head away, suddenly a million zombies would spawn on top of you, and it was ridiculous. And so I had to move it to the courthouse, which is fine, because the courthouse is actually a more interesting and appropriate place, but it looks like the zombies are also not spawning here. So let's see what happens. Is it going to be ugly and stupid? We got a couple of zombies. There's supposed to be way more. Oh, what is... Oh, gross. Anybody else? Nope. I was all... Oh, here we go. Okay, there's the zombies that were supposed to spawn before. I guess they didn't get here in time. You know what? If you miss your shot, you miss your shot. Uh-oh. I think something noticed us. Crap. See, we thought the fight would be over by the time... Oh, get off me. Wow, because it's Nightmare, I'm already half sick because of that. Oh! Am I out of bullets? Yikes. Okay. Definitely going to prioritize the plague zombies. No. Well, failed to prioritize that one sufficiently. Oh, no. No, 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 no. No. Am I going to lose a character for this? No, stop it. No. What the heck? Okay. Tressie's immortal. Why don't you guys attack Tressie while I reload my gun? Okay. You know what? I forgot. Red Talon characters outside of Daybreak have Gunslinger. Where's that other... Where'd the other one go? There he is. Nope, not that one. There. Okay. That's a little less scary now. Let's still... Unfortunately, we're just making so much noise. And I didn't... The thing is, I came here thinking I was going to sneak into houses. I didn't think that I was going to be getting into big fights with zombies. My plan, the reason I didn't bring... Oh, gosh. The reason I didn't bring anything like fire, for instance, to deal with crowds of zombies was because I didn't think I was getting into any fights like this, or that if I did, I could run away. So, glad we survived. I mean, Tressie was going to survive either way. Glad I survived.
If I can't use it, maybe someone else can.
So, Andy Pym's Discount Batman, which is an interesting Twitch name, says, I have a question. If a death screen starts and you leave the game, will the character be dead or alive? So no, the moment your death becomes inevitable, we save instantly. So if you see the death animation starting or anything like that, we have already saved your death. So it's theoretically possible that you could anticipate your death well enough that you could quit before it actually happens, but once it has happened, we save almost immediately. And you know what? It is dangerous. The reason we put those little icons up, it is dangerous to like shut off your machine during a save. So be very cautious with that.
Want to know why the military was down here in such force? I'll mark the location on your map. It's not far.
Okay, so yeah, I used to do all of this stuff on foot with Tressie when I was testing things out, but that was also when I was using cheats so that I was immortal. So we're getting in a car. This character is already so screwed up. See you later, zombie. Like, I thought I would be playing this character for a while. Oh, wait a minute. I don't even know. Can I even drive through here? Probably not, actually. Probably not. Yeah, I don't think I can get through the other end this way. Let's go the long way around. Oh, hi. It's funny, my second daughter tried some State of Decay a little while ago. She was pretty good, but she got into one of those Austin Powers situations where she was wedged between two things, and unfortunately, having never driven a car, she actually wasn't sure which way to turn the wheels and stuff to get sort of unlatched from that situation, and so I had to help her out with it. But it's kind of funny how, you know, you just make a lot of assumptions about what people are going to know how to do just from normal life in games like this, where, you know, where you're trying to reflect reality a lot. It's easy to forget that, you know, people have different real lives, and that not everybody has the same life experience. That applies in a lot of different contexts, in a lot of different ways. All right, let's head into the Alamo, wrap up this mission.
These are plague walls. Well, they used to be. A few months back, they basically took over downtown Marshall.
Come on, these things couldn't take over shit.
You weren't here. Luckily, somebody figured out how to destroy them before they spread too far.
Let me try to catch up a little bit with my chat while Tressie's talking.
Sort of. They
So yeah, Trevi, we actually, I think there actually is a lockpicking skill.
Time for me to head home.
I think that if you have the stealth skill, I think you actually can open those doors quietly. I just forgot about it. So, next time I encounter a locked door, I need to back off from it and actually see if that's true, because I just always bash through it. I'm kind of reckless. But I think they're actually, especially, I've got a Red Talon character right here, so they've got basically all of the skill benefits. I should absolutely use that skill. So I think Travi might have been a little sarcastic there. I think maybe they were just reminding me that that skill exists. But, all right, we're going to get Tressie home and then get this character home. Maybe we'll get this character home. Or maybe we'll still try to clean out those Plague Husks. I am really sick, so... Oh gosh, bloater. Oh. Let's just... What am I doing? Go in the wrong direction, because I can't figure out how anything works. Okay, so this place has a Plague Husk. Might as well come in here.
A bloater.
Oh, hello. Okay, so unfortunately, because I'm not using the best suppressor, and this is Nightmare, we got a bunch of zombies encroaching on us. Need some help, Tressie? With the zombies I attracted? Alright, let's see how much room we got in the back of this thing. So, we got a bunch of weird stuff here. Just gonna... The stuff that doesn't stack. Ooh, I should hold on to that 1911, though, in case I need it. In case I run out of ammo. I guess that's enough. Let's grab whatever else is in here. There we go. I think I've got an outpost near here if I need it. Ooh, yes. Glad I grabbed that.
Sight nor scent of Zeds.
Okay, I don't actually know why I'm searching this entire place. It's going to have a bunch of stuff I don't care about, and it's going to fill up my inventory. So I think we might actually have to go back. So because I'm so sick, and I'm worried about my character being in serious danger, I'm bringing Tressie with me for the rest of my scavenging before I drop her off at home. This is her. This is how she has to pay me for helping her out. So let's head this direction. Hello.
See that Zed hanging around?
So yeah, let's head over to West Marshall. We'll drop stuff off at an outpost. We'll pick up more stuff, drop it off at an outpost. Then we'll hit that first place that I marked on the way out of town. I remember how fun it was in State of Decay 1 to just try to thread the needle between those cars as quickly as possible without colliding with any of them, because, of course, colliding with cars was a bigger deal. I think you could do more damage to your car from random collisions, and like flipping your car was a big deal. All right, so we'll drop off the 1911, and then we'll pick up more of the 9mm rounds, which is what I actually need for this thing. And actually, while I'm here, let's just loot this place. Something around back? Aha. All right, we'll drop all this stuff off. There. And then that pickup reminded me, I'm sure I've got a bunch of these that I need to process, so I'll get that going. All right, then let's head back to this Plague Husk. Plague Bag says that you can actually use your followers to open locked doors. That's interesting. Do you mean like, how do you like just stand near the door and hope that your follower wants to go inside and then they'll open the door? Is it something like that? I guess we'll go inside. Those other zombies are here, but they're a little bit further away. They might lose sight of us. Oh, well, not if I'm gonna search loudly. Ha! Take that. You jerk zombie. I'm just gonna keep searching. Ooh, there might be a weapon in here. Aw, just parts. Oh, I thought Tressie was a zombie. I'm glad there's no friendly fire. I would definitely shoot my allies all the time. Oh, that zombie almost gave me blood plague. We've got 2 containers left.
Nothing more to kill here.
Here's one of them. How about I don't fast search this one? How about I actually take my time? Oh, interesting. So Plague Bag says that if you have a follower in front of a locked door, you can get them to open it by dodging through them. Okay, come here, Tressie. Come outside. So this isn't a locked door, but let's just demonstrate this maneuver. Okay, so I'm here. Let's run around a little bit. Hey, Tressie, come here. Okay, so I've got her closer to the door now. Oh, wait, whoops. Come here. Hey, Colin, get close to the door.
Better be careful.
Oh,
Catching
okay.
the plague would really cramp my style.
Okay, so now she's here. She's a little closer. Okay, she's real close to the door now. Let's very carefully get between her and the door. Okay, it's not working for me, but I can totally see this working. Like, I can imagine this working. I just got her at the wrong angle. She probably needs to be more like there. Aha! There we go. Oh, but she closes it immediately when she comes back. Okay. Well, okay. That's sort of a demonstration of how it might work. I think I didn't nail it dead on, and also this is just not even the right context. But thank you for that information, Plague Bag. I had never heard of that maneuver. Oh, so Plague Bag says that even if once after they close it again, it still remains unlocked. Once they've opened it once, it stays unlocked no matter what. That is absolutely fascinating. So I wonder if that was a conscious thing, like if the programmer who implemented that was like, oh, we better make sure they can do this even if the door is locked, or if it was just following some different chain of logic that just bypasses that altogether. And it was just unintentional. I've got no idea. That's interesting, though. Okay, so now this last one. We'll wrap this one up, and then we'll take Tressie home. There are so many zombies here. We have not killed nearly enough to reduce their spawning in this area. Oh, bloater. Okay. Yeah, my character will be instantly killed by a plague bloater, I'm pretty sure. Maybe on lethal they'll be instantly killed. Maybe not on Nightmare, but they're still in pretty bad shape, so we gotta be cautious. Like, for instance, I'm not gonna fire my handgun unless I have to. I hear a zombie nearby. I'm not sure. Oh, hello. Oh, plague zombie. Nope. Oh, glad that wasn't a plague zombie. Plague zombies and eliminating them still a priority. I cannot let them get anywhere near me. So, of course, I'm to fast search and invite them all to my house. let's see if we can.
Any place to put that?
Can't quite fit everything. Bye, zombies! Let's run back to the car. I usually like to park the car a little further away and across an obstacle so it's easier to... Oh. I don't have any space. I forgot to empty the car when I went over here. So now... See you later. I guess Tressie's not coming. See you later, Tressie. Maybe Tressie will teleport into the car. We'll have to see. I think she maybe failed to teleport into the car last time, and that's why she was still running. It looks like there's just all kinds of ferals around here. But luckily, they're not right here. And this is where I need to get out of the car. So... let's just close that door. Empty out our inventory, and then we're going to go back to the car and get the other stuff we left in the car. Ooh, Vector. And also drop off this Matt's rucksack. Oh, hey, everybody. Let's just, let's ignore the human over here. Yeah, I think we need to fight a little quieter. Oh, I hate the way this cursor moves. Okay. Let's head back over here. Drop off the stuff. So, Tressie's annoyed that I left her behind. Oh, way to attract some zombies, Tressie. Just because I left you behind, you think that means you get to attract some zombies? So Andy Pims is really pleased with the voice actor that we got for Twain. Me too, actually. Yeah, that guy is really talented. He's got a really sort of distinctive radio personality voice that I really like. Because I think that part of Twain's backstory was that he was actually a radio DJ prior to the apocalypse. And so he's got a little bit of that sort of professional quality sound. It's hard to quantify it exactly. Where was I going again? Right here. Car's not in that great shape, but we're going to be okay, I think. Okay, let's wrap this up. Now we got some fire, in case we need it on the way out. Because I'm going to attract every zombie I possibly can. But I'm going to make him knock first. Except this one. Wait, is this... Oh, this doorway doesn't have a door on it. Well, that makes it harder to keep the zombies out. Tressie, can you get that real quick? Okay, I think we've searched everywhere.
Hopefully we're starting a trend.
Just not even going to play with that one. All right, let's take Tressie home. Come on, Tressie. Here we go. Take her back to her place.
I got a screamer.
Oh, that's a bunch of screamers. I guess we'll take Tressie home, let her start saying her dialogue.
I hope this little tour was educational. Marshall is plenty dangerous, but it's not as bad as it used to be. And if you're looking to scavenge, it has plenty to offer.
I'm curious, what keeps you in Marshall?
I'm studying ruins left by the destroyed Plague Wolves. Important property.
I love it when I'm trying to aim at one particular zombie, but my character gunslings a different zombie that I didn't even know was there.
In hand, they'll give you a call. It's always nice to have a friend watching your back out here.
Did I accidentally...
You take care of
Did I accidentally kiss? Did I accidentally kill a screamer, or... Oh, let's, Come on. What the heck? You know, that's actually one thing we contend with is, you know, players have different levels of familiarity with how crosshairs work. So I actually understand why I was missing that guy. He didn't completely fill my crosshair. And so those shots were going into places where either there was an obstacle in the way or where there, you know, I was seeing background behind him. But one of the reasons why, you know, one of our programmers wanted to do those tracer rounds was so that players could see where their bullets were going when they missed. Because there aren't a lot of other great ways to sort of train players who are not familiar with sort of the UX standards of the shooter genre, who don't necessarily know that when you see a wide crosshair like that, what that means is the bullet could go anywhere inside the circle that's sort of suggested by that crosshair. And so, you know, like, I've known that for ages, playing shooters since the 90s, but if somebody doesn't know that, then it's easy for them to assume that actually the crosshair is just a vague representation of where the middle of the screen is, and that all of their shots should go to the exact center of the screen, like if you're aiming down iron sights. And so it's difficult to know, you know, to what degree you need to accommodate that. Like, because on one hand, it's like, you know, there's a lot of, like, artistic conventions, like movie conventions, like, you know, when you cut back and forth between two characters, you know that they're facing each other and they're talking to each other, and like you kind of understand what that type of editing means. But if somebody'd never seen it before, they might be a little bit confused. It's like, wait a minute, where are these two people? Where are they standing? What's going on? Now, I think that to some degree, the way that we edit movies does lean into just sort of human assumptions, like the fact that when you glance from one thing to another, you don't really see your vision tracking slowly across the intervening distance. You just see, I'm looking at this, and now I'm suddenly looking at that. And so I think that's why video editing works, is because, you know, and why there's things like the 180 rule, the idea that, you know, you always have to be filming from one particular perspective with people facing the same way all the time, each of them facing the same way all the time, is because people are accustomed to the idea that you can look back and forth from one perspective and see a lot of different things. So to what degree does it make sense for us to sort of rely on conventions like a wide crosshair, meaning your bullet could go anywhere inside this crosshair, when a lot of people understand it, but not necessarily every single new player will understand it? It's hard to exactly know, like, what level of sort of anticipating potential confusion we need to be responsible for. It's kind of it's an interesting balancing act. So, I know, even though I think we're going to end this session pretty soon, I know we're probably going to go out in that van again, so let's repair that van. Oh no, Coffee Pot is leaving! Oh no, I'm so sad about losing Coffee Pot. I do like the name Coffee Pot, but since I can't recruit anybody right now, you know, whatever. She can go her own way. It's fine. All right, so once I'm safe inside, I'm going to scroll back through my chat and see all the stuff that I missed while I was trying to focus on scavenging and zombies. But yeah, I'm definitely going to give Ratana a break. I'm kind of impressed, actually, that Ratana managed to survive so long, despite the fact that she's basically been this sick the entire time. All right, so while my people are defending me, let me quickly scroll back and see what I missed. Okay, so I saw Travi's comment about lockpicking. Sunny Games asked me how I was talking earlier about having a movie night planned with the company, And he asked how it went. I think it went well. I actually ended up not attending. I ended up having family stuff that I needed to do instead. So so I skipped it, but I'm sure it was good. They watched Zombieland, which is, you know, a genre favorite. And I believe that Brant was sort of the host, and the plan was for him to sort of talk a little bit to the community, to the company, about how that game, how that movie influenced the State of Decay story, and how we sort of present the zombie apocalypse. Because we do have a little bit of a, like, I don't know, we're not an outright comedy like Zombieland is. Like, you know, State of Decay draws from a lot of different inspirations. Zombieland is sort of on one end of the spectrum, but there's also The Walking Dead and the Romero stuff. Like, we pull from a lot of different places. So, but Zombieland being there does sort of pull us a little bit in the tongue-in-cheek direction, where we don't go all the way into comedy, but our characters do have a little bit of a sort of a meta level understanding of what's going on and how absurd their situation is, and their attitude that comes across in their attitude, even if, you know, which is kind of Zombieland like, even though they don't go full blown comedy like Zombieland. Okay, so I talked about that. I answered Andy Pims's question about whether you can quit the game to save your dying characters. Let's see here. Oh, Corrupt Snake says, I was curious if there have been reports that when dealing with a horde, some of the characters aren't using the fast execution when zombies are on the ground, or if it's just been me. So I noticed that too. Actually, earlier in this very session, when we were being swarmed at the courthouse, I noticed that my character used a, you know, crushing a zombie's head very slowly animation. And this character is fully specialized. Right at the beginning, I think it might have even been before the episode started, I specialized them in all of their, you know, I think actually, yeah, in both fighting and shooting. So they should have had access to the faster ones. So I think part of it is the fact that there are, you know, a game figuring out whether this is the right time for something can be very sensitive. And so if I just happened to not have any zombies that were targeting me at that moment because I had a follower, or who were not close enough to me to represent an immediate threat, the game might have decided, oh, this is the last zombie. This is a zombie you're allowed to do a slow move on. So I could see that being the case. I'm not actually sure what criteria Brian used when he was setting this up. So, for instance, if it was being targeted by other zombies, then I could see that if you've got a follower, if you've got friends with you, I could see, you know, you at that moment that the character makes the decision not being targeted, even though you are in danger, and still using the slower move. That's one guess that I'm making. I have no idea what's actually going on under the surface. Oh, look, a zombie threat at home. Well, we got 30 seconds. Let me see what else I can find in the chat, and then I guess we'll end this with a siege. Oh, Scott Landon suggests that if you are stymied by a locked door, he thinks that a window breaking makes less noise than bashing a door. That sounds reasonable. In fact, I'm pretty sure that bashing open a locked door, because I do play with cheats on sometimes, I'm pretty sure that bashing open a locked door is equivalent to a search crash. That actually, because sometimes I'll play with zombie spawns turned off, with like ambient zombie spawns turned off. And when I do that, but I crash through a door, I'll have zombies will still spawn. Will spawn on me, even though I've got ambient spawning turned off, which means they were spawned by the door. So yeah, I agree. I think Scott's right. That breaking a door open is a more dangerous sound to make than bashing through a window. But I think both of them. Oh, hello. You know what? I think I'm gonna let my friend shoot him. I'm not gonna waste any ammo on this guy. You don't deserve it, Juggernaut. Oh gosh. Maybe I should heal though. Oh, somebody's crossbowing him. Oh, now, dang it! I should have switched characters or something. Ugh. Do I already have some cure? Yes. All right. Well, I was hoping not to have to use any cure, but whatever. At least she got sick at home. There are worse situations to be in. All right, let me scroll down in the chat. Okay, so, wow. We did such a good job that the game actually thought that the siege was over. At least, the music system thought the siege was over. Nope. Dang it. Wait, did he just puke up a zombie? It looked like that screamer puked up an entire zombie. Oh no! It's like it's like a Grateful Dead concert in here. The Deadheads are inside. So one thing you might notice if you play this game a bunch is that each of the voices, like not every single case, but a lot of our character voices have their own word for zombies. Like there's one specific person who calls them creepers, and there's another specific person who calls them deadheads. And there's some who mostly just say zombies, some who say Zeds a lot. I think that was kind of a fun thing that Andy and his team did, is just sort of like, just like real life, people have different words for things. It's like, you know, soda versus pop, you know? It's that kind of thing. It's like everybody's got a different word for zombies. Dang it. All right, we did it. Anyhow, what was I doing? I was reading the chat. I was trying to read the chat anyway. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, so Daria was pointing out that that we had a spammer come in. I actually sometimes have mods who can sort of get rid of spammers for me. Unfortunately, lately my oh wow, that's account has already been suspended. Awesome. Unfortunately, lately I have not been streaming on a regular schedule, and so it's been a lot harder for my mods to show up because, you know, back when I was on a regular schedule, they always knew when to arrive. But now I'm just sort of doing it randomly, opportunistically when I get the chance, and that's a little different. So yeah, we didn't have mods to ban that person, but apparently they were spamming a bunch of channels and got banned just overall, so I don't need to do anything at all. But thanks for calling that out, Daria. Sorry that I wasn't paying enough attention to the chat while I was playing. And, oh, Asada showed up and was excited that I was live. Good, I'm glad to have you here. Oh, and they appreciate the fact, that's interesting, you're calling out the fact that, that you like that this game doesn't hold your hand. That the game actually, you know, just really puts you in situations where it's up to you to survive. I'm glad that you appreciate that. That's actually, it's a difficult decision to make about a game sometimes. It's like how you know, how dangerous you're going to make the experience. But it's always a little bit of a trade-off, because there's some players who are always going to be put off by the high stakes of a game like State of Decay, and there's some players who are going to, that exact feature is going to make them love it more than other games. And so you kind of, it's less about pleasing everybody, more about sort of choosing an audience that you're going to try to make happy, and then make them as happy as you possibly can. Oh, and thank you for subscribing, Noble. That's awesome. Jorge, I don't know much about what you're talking about with the blind spots around Fort Marshall. Fort Marshall is a huge base, and it's much larger and more complicated than any of the bases that we originally asked our AI to learn how to play in. I did make some tweaks to the way the tuning of the AI to make it easier for them to notice zombies that were all the way across the base from them, and I think I got it better than it was when we shipped, though. There might just not be enough parameters that we can tweak to make Fort Marshall be as workable as we'd like it to be. So no, I'm not aware of anyone actually actively working on that right now. They've got other things on their plate. If you have specific specific locations and places where there are a problem, you can submit a ticket to support.stateofdecay.com, and we can get it set up as a bug in our system for whenever somebody with the right skill set has a chance to look at it, they can have a look. Oh, so Alex the Human Man wants to know if there's a way that we can set up a conversion between influence and prestige, our sort of our soft and kind of hard currency in the game. That's an interesting idea. So I was thinking about... so one of the challenges of giving you more ways to earn prestige is I've said this before, is that right now prestige is inextricably tied to Daybreak, and people grind Daybreak to get prestige, which is, for some of them, not the best experience. Some people really like Daybreak. Other people are like, I roll, well, I have to do this in order to get prestige. The problem is, if we add just one more way to get prestige, people will start grinding that too and turn that into a bad experience. So we have to be really careful about how we bring prestige into the game. Your suggestion that people could burn influence to get it, though, influence is earned in so many different ways that might actually be one of the safer ways to do it. We've got some other ideas in mind too, but I like that suggestion. So thank you for making it. Because there's so many different ways to get influence. It doesn't seem like if we made that the route into getting more prestige, people would not necessarily grind one particular thing to get it. Though I don't know. I guess if we made it that valuable, maybe we'd find out what the one thing is people grind in order to get influence. So Andy Pims wants to know if the FOV slider in the settings menu is coming back. We tested that out in the public test realm and then killed it before we went live with Update 28 because it had some bugs that we didn't have time to resolve. So the plan is for it to be in a future update, yes. I can't give you an exact timeline on that or anything, but we did not kill the feature altogether. We just took it out of Update 28 because there were some places where it was creating problems we had to solve before we could ship it. And... oh yeah, so Noble TB says that they love State of Decay and they play both games. They can't get enough of it. And well, thank you for coming in here and telling me that and subscribing to my channel. That makes me really happy. And let's see here. All right, I think I'm mostly caught up. Scott Landon is suggesting that maybe we could let the player choose whether they get influence or prestige for a mission. That would add an extra step to a mission, and it would be a choice that would have to pop up at an arbitrary time when you could. Okay, so there's a couple different ways we could, if we wanted to do that. There's a couple different ways. One would be to add a dialogue option at the beginning of the mission, which means we have to change the logic of every single mission, which we should not do. Another option would be to give the player some kind of pop-up where they can decide where to which currency they want, but we don't want to throw up a pop-up in the middle of the game in order, because we don't know what you're in the middle of, and that could hurt you in the middle of combat, for instance. All of the other UX options I can think of for that are more expensive. Like, for instance, queuing up your rewards in a big pile somewhere and then letting you page through them and make decisions whenever you want to about what your prizes are. That is one option. That's a big, elaborate new system we'd have to create. Stuff like that. So there's a lot of different ways we could approach something like that. So that's like systemically, like as far as just like the idea of letting the player choose what currency they're. Another option might be just choosing overall which currency you're going after generally, and have that make that choice in one place. Though that seems like it could be potentially an overwhelming amount of prestige, which could cheapen it a lot. Anyway, that's not a crazy idea, systems wise, in theory. But it's just one of the challenges of being a systems designer is that you can have an idea that works in theory, but then you have to think it all the way through to the moment-to-moment implementation of it. And sometimes you can have an idea that works great in your head, but that when you actually try to communicate it to the player or give the player the opportunity to control it, it starts being a disaster. and there've been several things like that where it's like I had a big idea for State of Decay 2, how certain systems were going to work, and I wrote it all up at a very high level how I wanted it to work. And then when we actually got down to the ground level implementation, it was nonsense. it had no business being in the game. And so there are some places where I still think my original idea was good. There's other places where I'm like rolling my eyes at myself at ever thinking it was good, at not having thought it through all the way down to the moment-to-moment player experience where they're trying to interact and understand with that system, what's going on with that system. Let's see here. So French Cheese wants to know if we're going to add any new classes of Red Talon characters, because there's certain skills that you can't get with a Red Talon team. Honestly, like, I think that's fine. Like, Red Talon, they were never meant to be the only character that you play. They were never meant to be like, oh, I've made my entire team of Red Talon. Or if you did decide to make your entire team of Red Talon, it should feel kind of unbalanced. Honestly, I feel like I made a mistake making them as versatile as I did. Like, I think that they should have been combat monsters who lacked other benefits, so that you would have to sort of mix them in and have, because I think thematically one of the things that I would love for this game to say I realized that I should probably, since I'm not actually playing the game, I should probably minimize the game. Since, yeah, I would love for this game to say something about the infinite variety of human beings all having value and being worthwhile, and that you need like a diversity of different skills and different backgrounds and things like that in order to make a community work. And I think I made a mistake making Red Talon as powerful and versatile as they are, because I'm undercutting the theme that I wanted this game to have. And I'm making it so people feel like, oh, Red Talon is the best, I should be able to make a team of only the best, and exclude everyone else. And so that feels like I did something wrong. It feels like I designed that system in a way, like I was just having fun thinking of neat Red Talon soldiers, and I didn't think of the other side. I didn't think of balancing it out to make sure that thematically we were staying on the right course. So that's a regret that I have about the way that I designed this game. I would much prefer it if players thought of Red Talon as, instead of being just the pinnacle, the best characters overall, if they thought of them more as specialists, like, I want my team to have a couple of these people because they're good at one certain thing, but they're not good at everything. And I also need to have a variety of other characters who can fill other roles. So the fact that you don't feel that way, that in fact you feel like you're just this close to Red Talon doing everything you want and then you don't ever need to have normal characters, that means I did something wrong with the game. It's not working the way that I wanted it to. And so, but that's a lesson that I'm taking from that. And so, as we, and I say that all the time around the office. So as we move forward into future games, I think we're going to make fewer mistakes like that. I think that we're going to learn from the errors in State of Decay 2 and do a better job in future games. Let's see here. Shard J says, I love the first State of Decay game, but I found the second one really dull. Am I crazy? You're not crazy. There's a variety of different types of players out there who are motivated and entertained by different things, and State of Decays 1 and 2 are very different. And for instance, if you are the type of player who is very motivated by narrative, by a game telling a story to you, setting up really interesting stakes and really interesting situations with characters that are authored in such a way that you grow to love them and invest in their struggle, that sort of thing, that was done much better in State of Decay 1. In State of Decay 2, we leaned really hard into the systemic aspects of the game, randomly generating characters, so you have an infinite supply of people, and we tried to make them as interesting as we could, but we didn't quite crack the problem of making it possible to tell the same kinds of stories about those characters that we can tell about the authored characters in State of Decay 1. And the very specific situation of State of Decay 1. So, for instance, if you are that type of player who is very primarily entertained and motivated by narrative stuff, I'm not surprised that you would find State of Decay 2 less entertaining than State of Decay 1. And so it's interesting, like I was saying earlier about, the difficulty and the stakes of the game. Like, there's different kinds of players, and you have to kind of decide what audience you're entertaining, and there's definitely players for whom the infinite variety of characters and sort of the shallow storytelling is exactly what they're looking for from a game, in which case those are the players who love State of Decay 2 the most. But if you're not one of those players, then State of Decay 2 might not be the best for you. Now, and on one hand, you do need to sort of figure out what your primary audience is and make sure you're entertaining that audience above all else. But at the same time, the broader that audience can be, the better off everybody is. And I think that even though people have certain motivations that they care the most about, I think all of the motivations that players might have, mechanical motivations, creative motivations, narrative motivations, they're all valid. I think they all work in each person, just in different proportions. And so if we made the narrative side of State of Decay, like the next State of Decay game, stronger than it was in State of Decay 2, even the players who loved State of Decay 2 and didn't miss the narrative, I think they would still even be more entertained by that new game, because even if their enjoyment of the game doesn't hinge on the narrative, having a better narrative is still definitely a better experience for them. And so we're going to keep working on trying to figure out the right way within this franchise to make all of these different aspects of the game as good as they can be. And so I don't know. I mean, I can't promise we'll definitely be better in every single regard with the next game, but we're going to try to be. And at the very least, it'll probably appeal to a different subset of our potential audience than State of Decay 1 or 2 did. So we'll have to see how it goes. We're still early enough in the process that I definitely can't promise you how it's going to go. But that's kind of, it's a problem we need to solve. And so, yeah, I'm not offended that you said that, Shard J. But even though, I worked a lot more on State of Decay 2 than I did on State of Decay 1, I'm not offended because I know that that's the situation. People are entertained by different things. They're motivated by different things. And, when I focused, State of Decay 2's systems much more on, like, just, the strategy of running around and trying to keep these people alive versus telling a specific coherent story, I knew that there was stuff we were going to lose there. And I thought that maybe we'd be able to bridge that gap in other ways, and we kind of didn't. So, but maybe we'll figure out in the future. Or, there is definitely, I don't know how recently you've played it, Heartland and Trumbull Valley do have stronger storytelling than the other parts of State of Decay 2. If that is a motivation for us, and I don't know, I haven't actually read to see if you've said anything more about that. It looks like you haven't. Then maybe those would appeal to you more. We did try to pull it a little bit in that direction to try to shore up that gap. Let's see here. Oh, hey, Punslinger. Thanks for showing up. Punslinger is somebody actually that I know offline, so it's good to see you. Well, I don't see you. It's good to see your name and some words that you've typed. Thanks for coming in here. So you didn't know? Oh yeah. So I used to do this very regularly. Now I've been a little bit sporadic just because, I don't know, my brain is falling apart at the end of a hard year and I'm really desperately in need of a Christmas vacation. But eventually I am actually planning on being more regular again. So yeah, hey, if you want to follow me, I'd love to get your input on anything out here that I play. It's good to talk to you again. Oh, okay. So, so you say you actually were following me, but this is the first time you've actually caught me on. Yeah. So I think that for a while I used to stream on weekend mornings, and so people are often doing other things on weekend mornings, and occasionally I'd do it during a lunch break. But if you're having your own lunch break at the office, then you might not notice that somebody's streaming during that time. So I'm glad you caught me. This is a weird time for me. Usually I don't do it like this sort of like Monday afternoon slot. This is actually usually reserved for the streams we do at work, the official Undead Lab streams. And so I'm usually not streaming in my personal channel at this time. But there you go. And let's see here. Oh, so one last question that I do really need to end this video because I've been making. Wow, wait, I've been doing this way longer than I thought I was. You people have raised some interesting questions, and so I just keep talking instead of ending the episode. So I'll answer Zergling's question. It says, are you going to see any new movies soon? Like, I don't know, something cool that released recently? I did just see the new Spider-Man, and I really, really liked it. They tried to do something extremely complicated and dangerous with that movie. And I don't want to get into any details because it's definitely worth seeing without spoilers. But when I say dangerous, I don't mean like people are going to get offended or something. I'm just saying they were grappling with story elements that would have been easy to do in a hokey and dorky way. And instead they did them in a wonderful way. And that's very hard to do. And so I'm extremely impressed with the people who made that movie. I haven't been seeing a lot of movies in the theaters though lately. I've been mostly a TV guy, just because that's something you can easily do at home. So I've been catching up on The Witcher so that I can watch season 2 as it comes out. I think it already launched 1 or 2 episodes. The Expanse is in its last season, and I love The Expanse. It's my favorite book series of all time, and so I'm really excited about the final season of the show. Those are the biggest ones right now. So there you go. There's some recommendations for me. And okay, I think I'm gonna wrap up this episode. So for those of you who are joining me new for the first time, here's how my stream works. So I do the stream live, but then I also put these out as YouTube videos later on. And so each of my segments of the stream has a beginning and an end that I use for YouTube. But the fact that I'm doing an ending doesn't mean I'm actually going to quit streaming right now. I'm going to keep going. We're going to play some other games. But for right now, let's switch to this. So I'll put a subscribe button right here in the YouTube version. I'll put links to other videos, including, once I get to it, the next Lion's Share video. It's going to go right there. And then I stare awkwardly into the camera.